Good evening, everybody. Today is July 3rd. Happy Independence Eve. This video is intended for my good friend JW in California. Him and I are working together. We became good friends recently over the course of converting 3-rail into dead rail. He had a lot of questions about a Lionel PCB board, that it didn't come with any instructions or anything. That's okay. There is no textbook on this that I know of, and if there is, please someone post a comment below. So the whole purpose of this video, the intent is to show my friend JW what I know about a Lionel PCB board, how you can convert it to battery power easily, and then how you can take a Lionel PCB board and put it into a MTH locomotive. This is Leia. She likes to be all up in my business. So here is my Lionel F3 Super Chief. It is a 2020 model. And then just for reference on how everything works, this is my MTH B unit that is my battery car and charge port and on-off switch. I will take this apart and I will show JW, and along with anyone else who wants to know how I did this, where I got the materials, and I will post a link in the bio of this video. This is very simple to do. I wish Lionel would do this. I have wrote them several times and told them there is a market for this and it should be cheap, because on most Lionel Lion Chief locomotives there is an on-off switch at the bottom that you can turn the sound off, run conventionally on rails or remote control. Well, add another switch right next to that that's tethered into that for battery power. And yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's probably a $3 add-on, and Lionel can have dead rail locomotives. Huge game changer. There is a market for it, I promise you. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this down, and I'm going to get everything ready. But in the meantime, JW, the only thing that you're going to need to do this with right now is a Phillips screwdriver. I use a flathead with a magnet at the end. I do have fat fingers, so I do tend to lose nuts and bolts quite often. So a magnet always helps. And then I always have a small, very small precision flathead or point, and that is to get the clips to release off the PCB board. But let me just say this again, I am not a professional. I do not work for Lionel or MTH or anybody. Everything that I have learned here, I have learned on my own, or over the past 2 years, I have asked plenty of questions from the experts on Facebook, all the groups that I'm a part of, on the forums, local hobby shops, yeah, just trial and error basically. I have ruined many of engines, I promise you. I have burnt up quite a few boards in the beginning. And yeah. Oh, and one more thing, Ron at the Baldy and Palms Railroad in California, I have not forgotten about you. I did get that PCB board in from the NW2 switcher, and I have yet to replicate the problem you had. In fact, I put that NW2 switcher PC board in this MTH locomotive. I put it in a Lionel single motor, single can motor unit. It's a RS3 unit, probably from like 99 or so. And then I've also put it into this one just to make sure it works. And then I've also put it into my Spirit of 1776 -9. So I've yet to replicate the issue that you had. I wish you lived closer so I can take a look at it. I would love to see the issue. I'm sorry that it's happened to you, but yeah, it's duly noted, and I'll always be on the lookout for that. And if I ever come up with a solution, you will be the first to know, bud. All right, stay tuned. All right, JW, I'm going to show you the whole intent of this video and what you're supposed to replicate. Leia, please get down. First, I'm just going to show you how everything works. I have a tether wire going from the Super Chief, the A unit, to my battery car, which is right here. I'm just going to go ahead and hook it up to the tether. There we go. Alright, and we're going to select on. This is a universal remote, does not come with it. Just got to find it first. There it is. Alright. So as you can see, I have no tracks. It's complete battery power.
Welcome aboard the Santa Fe Super Chief. Ladies and gentlemen, the Super Chief is departing.
Alright, so reverse. Whoa. And forward. No tracks. Complete dead rail. My favorite unit. Alright. That's the whole purpose. That's the whole goal to dead rail, so you can be able to do that. Alright, now we're going to take it apart. I'm going to describe everything to you. Alright? Stay tuned. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take everything apart. So with your Phillips screwdriver, you're just going to take out the few screws that are on each end. Luckily on this, there's only 4 screws, 2 on the back, 2 on the front. Sometimes you'll have a few in the center. It really all depends on the locomotive you're working on. They're all different. Okay. Like I mentioned before, I have fat fingers, so this is where the magnet comes into play. Unscrew a little bit more. You can also buy a tool that magnetizes the tips of your screwdrivers. I have one of those at work, just it's not here. Okay. Then we're going to carefully flip it over to the top, like so. And we're going to flip the shell over that holds the lights. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate the camera so that way we can show everything. All right. Stand by. Okay. So we got the shell off. Now then, you always want to be careful of the moving parts. So we'll go ahead and move the steps, and put that over there to the side. I always keep everything together. Alright, here's your PCB board. 2 cans showing. Alright, so you always want to orientate everything and find out where everything goes. Alright, so you got your super cheap PCB board in your hand, right? So you want to orientate it just like this. That way you can write down, color code. What I would do is I would take a different color marker. So black, blue, red, whatever, and go ahead and hash it. Use the red for the power. So first, we're going to identify the power hookup terminal. Okay, your power hookup terminal is going to be right here, this top right one. Okay, it is going to be 2 wires, so it's a 2-prong hookup, black and red. All right, that is your track pickup. So you're going to cut your track pickup wires, and then you are going to splice in your battery wire. And that's what I've done here, and that's what I've done here. Okay, that's going to be the tether. Then you're going to hide that tether, you're going to wind it. I have it rubber banded to the back cam motor right here, and then I have it going out through this truck port, and then out the back, and right here. Alright, and then I will tell you which tether wires I used. Super simple. I got them off of Amazon. They come in packs of 2. You can also get them in, so 2 sets, so it'd be total of 4, male and female. But you can also get them in a pack of 5 as well. They're pretty cheap. I haven't bought any since the whole tariff thing and what's going on with China, blah, blah, blah. I have a good stock of them already, so I don't know if they're in stock right now. But other places besides Amazon carries them. All right, next thing we're going to identify is we are going to identify the speaker wires. Okay, the speaker wires. Actually, we'll identify the light wires for you, both front and rear. All right, so on this Super Chief, the wires are gray and black. Okay, so we're going to follow those down over here, and they go to right here and right here. Okay, so right next to your battery terminal wire, which is this one. Okay, bottom left, which is, get a good focus here, and the one directly to the left. Those are your front right here and your rear. I hope you can see this. I really do. I don't have the best recording stuff at all. I'm just using my phone. All right, so this is your rear light. This is a 2-prong hookup. I am using a 3 because that's all I had, but it still fits. And a 2-prong to the left. Again, so the one on the left is your front light. The one on the right is your rear light. Directly above those lights, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 5-prong hookup. That is going to be the on-off switch or the sound switch that I mentioned in the beginning. And that's going to be right here. It's going to be in front of your speaker that's below your truck. Okay? That's going to be your sound on, sound off, conventional running, or radio control running. Okay? All right, now then, the good stuff, the motors. This is where it gets fun because you can do so many different things. All right, so the can motor for the rear is a blue and red. Okay, and then the front one is a brown and blue wire. You're going to identify your power, which is right here. Red, blue. So make sure you mark that down at the very bottom that this is going to be for your motors. Okay? Now then, all you're going to do is you're going to take the blue wire and splice it in to the other blue wire. Tether it together. You're going to take the brown and put it with the red. Okay? And then tether that together and then simply plug it in. And that's it. Now, if by some chance you got them crossed, the colors crossed, that's okay. Okay, that just means you just recross them until the engine goes forward when you want it to go forward or backward when you want it to go backward. Another good thing about this setup is, let's say I wanted to run a B, A, or just a B unit. All right, so in this locomotive right here, I would want to hook up the wires backwards, complete opposite of my A unit. That way, let me switch this around. That way when I hit forward, this one's going forward, this one's going backwards. Okay, the only way that will work right now is if I get another PCB board, the exact same, made for engine 159. So if I get two 159 PCB boards, sorry, it cut out on me. So what I was saying was, if I get two PCB boards made for a 159 engine, Okay, that means they have the same frequencies. I don't have to change nothing. I would hook it up in my A unit, one in the B unit, but on the motors, I set it up completely opposite than my A unit. That way, when I select forward, okay, they're both going to be going forward. This one goes forward, this one goes backwards. Vice versa, even if you want it to set up where it's front to front, okay? You can set them up the exact same, and it'll go front to front. All right, so that part is easy. I have done that. I have tested it, and it works. Don't let anyone tell you different. I have videos and proof that that concept works. I wish Lionel, like on G-Scale Pico, they would have a channel select here. There's plenty of room on this PCB board where they can have a channel select. That way, you know, you can run two different 159s on different tracks, and one go fast, one go small, or, you know, vice versa. You can always select the channels, and it helps you lash up easier or whatnot. You can speed match too, doing it that way. Pretty simple stuff that, you know, Lionel can do to make this better. And that's basically it, man. So let's go over it one more time. Make sure you mark things down on your PCB board. This bottom one here, that is your motor controller. That's where the motor wires get tethered together and plugged in. And focus. All right, top right over here, that's going to be your track power / battery power. That's where you're going to run your battery tether wire to that unit. Directly to the left bottom is going to be your front and your rear lights. The plug-in at the very top is going to be your switch. Okay, your on-off switch here. You actually don't even need this at all. You can eliminate it if you want to. Just make sure before you eliminate it that you plug everything in, and make sure you have the sound on. And then you can unplug it and the sound will remain on. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to turn the sound on. All right. And that's really about it, man. That's all you really need to know. The other one is a double ground plug-in. It even says ground there. Okay. And that is it. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to show you MTH. Okay. Right here, I have a MTH engine 28. I've already gutted this unit, so all that is left is the wires for the motors. Okay, obviously there's a size difference from the Lionel Super Chief to the MTH. It's about a good 2 inches smaller. That's okay. This PCB board with bracket, you can double-sided tape it right here, and it'll fit perfectly. Okay, you can even add in a battery right here and then put the PCB board on top of the battery, and it'll fit, and you won't even need a battery car. So here, as you can see, I took the MTH white wires that came with it, tethered them together, and added a lead. I took the yellow wires and added a red lead. Okay, those two wires right there will get plugged in to the PCB board right here. Okay, and then you are going to take your battery wire, plug it into your top right here, and that's it. You now have a deadrail F3 MTH locomotive. It is that simple. If you don't want lights, don't add lights. Okay, if you don't want sound, don't add sound. It's that simple. Okay. Yeah, that's really about it, man. I hope this made sense, and I hope to hear back from you, dude. All right. All y'all have a safe 4th of July. Oh, yeah. Forgot the most important part, JW. The sound. Good thing I remembered. So this top left one right there, it is a 2-prong hookup. That is your sound. All right. Can you change the sounds? No, you cannot. Not yet. Not yet. That is coming. I know it has to be coming. Lionel will develop something that will allow you to make your own sounds or upload your own sounds or even record your own voice. Wink, wink. Hint, hint. So anyways, yeah, that top one right there is your sound. You just, on this one, it just comes down to right there, and then it goes down to the speaker box. And that's it. All right. So that is basically it. First off, I apologize for this long video. Second off, I apologize for my horrible camera skills. Like I said, I'm using a phone right now, and I'm using a flashlight. And I apologize for my cat jumping on here. I hope I explained this better. Typically, all of the Lionel PCB boards are very simple. Some are even color-coded. I have a few that are color-coded. I think Lionel should stick with the color code. Be a lot easier in my book. Again, pretty cheap. But I guess if you're mass producing them, I guess adding in a color dye could get expensive. I'm not an expert at it. They would know more than I do to keep the cost down. All right, I think that's all I need to go over. That's your antenna wire. Oh yes, smoke. All right, so chuffing smoke, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't done yet. I have attempted to and have failed. Okay, but I have added fan-driven smoke, and I have added it in probably several different ways, and the best way that works out is I tether it in to the battery wire. Okay, so right here's my tethers, these two right here, these two, 1, 2. I would just add in a wire coming out of the top and a wire out of the top on this one, and then I would drill holes where these are already drilled, where a smoke unit would go. Okay, and so that way as soon as you turn it on, it starts building up smoke and then releasing smoke. Okay, you can hook it up to your drive. Okay, so you can hook it up, the positive terminal going to the blue, or the positive terminal going to the brown, which in this case would be reverse. So the power going in this wire means you're going forward. When you put in reverse, power is going this way, changing the polarity, and then the motor turns opposite directions. All right, so you can hook up the fan to that. That way it only blows smoke when you drive forward, or blows smoke when you only drive backward, but it won't blow smoke in neutral. It's really up to you, to each their own. I hook up the smoke to the battery terminals, and that way I have fan-driven smoke. I'm happy with it. I'm not, I wish I can have a big boy with chuffing smoke. That is my goal. One day I will have that. That is my dream locomotive. And trust me, I will spare no expense hooking up chuffing smoke to that. And I think I covered everything, man. Yeah, so I will go over the battery trail car next with you and show you how I did that. That's probably the easiest part to this all. I used a B unit. Like I said in the beginning, I used a B unit. That way I can add this to a different locomotive, and I'm not always running the same ones. I also have a different MTH B unit. That's a New York Central sheen. So that way I can just switch the cover and put it on pretty much anything. I'm looking for a Union Pacific one too, but that's pretty easy. It's pretty universal if you put it in a B unit. I also have several battery cars that are MTH F units. Yeah, the options are endless, and the sky's the limit when it comes to dead rail and making your own conversions. All right, I'm going to open up the battery car now. I'm going to put this back together and then open up the battery car, show you, and that should end it. And let me know if you have any questions. All right, so this is my MTH B unit that I use for a battery car. All right, on this MTH car is the charging port and the on-off switch. Okay, like I said, you can use anything you want to for a battery car. And in some cases, like on scale models, you can actually put the charge port, the on-off switch, and the battery in the locomotive. But finding them, you know, relatively cheap is hard to come by these days. All right, so here at the front, this gets hooked up directly behind the loco. I have my on-off switch, charging port, and then through the door window is the female power tether wire. Okay, and then all of it goes inside here. In this unit, to make it as light as possible, some people want heavy units. Me, I at the time when I made this, I didn't think I needed a heavy unit because these are solid metal trucks. I took out the speaker that came with it, and this unit also came with a 4-prong tether wire. I don't know, I never had it hooked up for an MTH. I literally bought this car just for a battery unit. As you can tell, whoever had it before me got some paint splatter on it. That's why it was relatively cheap, thanks to Freebay and or Feebay, excuse me, not Freebay, Feebay. But other than that, it works pretty good and I love it. So consider it weathering. All right, so I'm going to take this apart really quick and then show you the battery and the wiring for that. All right, here it is. Very simple wiring. Okay, very simple. All right, so the battery harness I get from rldhobbies.com. It already comes soldered together, ready to go. You just got to modify and put it where you want it. It gives you enough wire to cut extra. Gives you like almost, man, I'm gonna say almost a foot of wire for each lead. All right, so that's for the charging, that's for the battery, that's for the tether. Okay, it gives you enough. So basically you're just going to cut the way you fit. There's not a lot of wiring, like I said, because I've already trimmed it. And what I did was I drilled a hole, and for the charging port, which is right here in the center, then I drilled another hole right here and then stuck in the on-off switch. I didn't use any glue. It comes with a little lock nuts. You slip it in through the hole and then lock nut it on this side, and that's the same thing for the charging port. And then the tether harness, like I said, for the battery, all I did was stick it through the door window. I just punched out the plexiglass and stuck the wire through. Battery. I've already gave you personally the link where I purchased my batteries from. However, this battery is a legit Train battery that I got from MTO Batteries. There's the part number right there, Train-19. It's 14.8 volt, 3.5 AH. And then the website where I got it from, mtobattery.com. All right. I don't know their availability anymore because, like I said, I've already sent you where I purchased my batteries. And I buy them, 3, 4 at a time, and they're like $10 a piece. So also you can get custom batteries made. There are plenty of people on the Facebook forums, on the Facebook pages that can make you batteries. I have yet to use those services yet, but they are on my list to do because I would love to have the batteries inside every locomotive. So a custom battery where I can fit part up front, part in the middle, part in the rear, or even put them up top. Double-sided tape on the top. That way I don't have to have a battery trail car. I can always just do whatever. All right, and that's my setup. This bracket right here was because this whole setup used to be in a box car, and I would slide the door open, and right there would be my charge port and then on-off switch. So that way nothing was exposed. But then I decided I wanted to put it on a B unit, and yeah, like I said, the options are endless, and it's on double-sided tape. on this not cardboard, but it's painting canvas. So that way I don't ruin the battery if I want to put it into another car. So I have the battery double-sided taped to the canvas, and then the canvas is double-sided taped to the car frame. That way I can just pry this up, and you know, if I rip some of the canvas off, that's okay. At least it's not harming the battery. And I think this concludes it. Again, I apologize for the length of these videos, and excuse my choreography, I guess is the word I'm looking for, because this video was not scripted. Kind of just winged it. But I hope everyone has a good 4th of July, safe 4th of July, happy Independence Day, God bless America, and JW, keep in touch. I enjoy our conversations, and I look forward to seeing your progress into this hobby. And as for everyone else, see you on the rails. Oh, shit.